Hi, this is Nora De Silva. This is another success story I will share with you today. My host is Dr. Reem. She is a dentist. Hi, Dr. Reem. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you so much for coming today and sharing your success story with us.
You're very welcome. My honor.
Okay. When did you reach to Canada?
I arrived in Canada in 2010.
Okay. Where did you study dentistry?
I graduated with a bachelor's degree in Sharjah University from United Arab Emirates, and then I moved to Canada and graduated from Western.
I've heard there are two ways to do the dentistry equivalency. One is to study and write your exams, and the other one is to be accepted into a dental college. Can you explain the process of each one and who is the people that accepted into the dental college?
So anyone can get accepted into dental school here in Canada as long as you fulfill the requirements of the schools, which each school has its own requirements. Now, you asked about the two types of equivalency process. Yes, there are two. One is you study and you sit for your board exams with the National Dental Examination Board of Canada, and you go through a series of exams. I think right now they are at 5 exams, if I'm not wrong. And then the alternative way is to do your first exam, get your grade, and then apply to dental schools in Canada. And depending on your grade, your TOEFL exams or your IELTS exam, you can get accepted into different schools. They also take into account your grades from your school back home or from wherever you graduated from. Both of these are accredited. There is a say that if you're a graduate from a dental school in Canada, it's a preference. However, what they put you through when you're doing your direct exams is very similar to what they put you through in school. So is there one way? It depends on your current situation. If you have the funding to go ahead and do the exams and go through the preparation for the exams, it's not only the cost of the exam itself, but it's also the cost of preparing for the exam. Why not? And if you have the experience, by all means, go for it. If not, and I personally wanted to experience dental school here. I wanted to see how different it is from where I graduated from. And it's always been my dream to get into a university here in Canada, specifically Western University. So I applied to dental schools here. But really, most people don't know where they are going with the application process, with the equivalency process, so they go both ways, and whichever way comes first, that's the way they'll take. However, there are people who prefer to go back to school, and there are people, again, my husband and myself, he came here, the moment he arrived, he was like, I'm going through the direct license exams, I'm doing my exams, and that's it. It's one way in and the other way out. There's no in between. I was like, I will apply to school. If I get in, I'm in. If I don't get in, okay, fine, I'll go through the exams.
Yes.
So it's different from person to person.
In Iraq, we have certain books to study and we get tested out of these books. What about here in Canada?
So here okay, so when you're in school, you have your lectures to refer to as your reference, but they always go back to the main textbooks. And with the NDEB, the last time I checked it was like 100 reference books. Now there's a couple of books per subject, per title. These are your main references, but what you're examined on is basically the lectures you're taking. However, with the direct licensing exam, it's everything. You can be tested on everything. It could be, for all we know, it could be a new literature that just came out, or a new evidence-based literature that just came out, and then they can ask you a question about it. So it's an open concept. It's more of an open concept, and you need to know everything and anything in dentistry, whereas back home, you have this book or this lecture, this is what we're going to test you on. There's nothing that's going to come out of, it's not out of this that comes out. It's within the material that is handed to you. In Canada, it's different. The material is handed to you, but it's your duty to go and read even more and to research more.
Can we relate the prices of the high prices of dental treatment to any of the student loans that you take through through studying dentistry?
So to become a dentist, there are two ways.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned before, it's either you go through your direct licensing exam or you go back to school. If you go back to school, the bank gives you a loan. If you don't go back to school, it's an expense solely on the person who's taking the exams. Are these, to answer your question directly, no, there is no relationship to that.
Okay.
The cost of the dental treatment that is provided to you is standardized over Ontario, and it's based on the Ontario Dental Association. It's not based on what the dentist feels like charging you today, or what they feel like, or what dentist A wants to charge and versus dentist B wants to charge. Now, there are fees in the ODA fee guide that are subject to a range. So I'm just going to give you a random example. There's a diagnostic exam which can range from $50 up to $160. Why that range? Because if you came in and you said, oh, I think there's like a little black dot on my tooth, on your front tooth, and it's an obvious, like it's a stain on your tooth, and it takes me 1 minute to polish it, I can be under the discretion by myself to say, I'm not going to charge you $160, I'm going to charge you the $50 only. So there is some fees in the book that is subject to subject to the dentist's discretion to decide whether they go to the higher end or the lower end, but everything else is standardized. Most fees, 90% of the fee guide is standardized.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of being an owner of a business?
Well, if you're a lady, then you're called the boss lady.
Which is the most important thing.
Which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You have to be in heels though.
Yeah.
Seriously speaking, it's nice that it comes with the benefits of being able to run your own schedule, so you can determine what day you work, what days you don't, what days you take off. And how much time, what's your working hours look like. So you can do a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 2 or a 9 to 1 for all you care about. And then you have the disadvantages, is basically running the practice and making sure that or running a business is just making sure that everything is running smoothly as possible. And the biggest hurdle that we have in running a business is finding a solid team. If you don't have a solid team, you don't have a solid business. So it's all about the team. Who do you have to support your back? Who do you have to cover for you? If you're not there, can the business still run smoothly? How long can the business suffer, or how long can the business thrive without your presence? That is what determines if it's a successful business or not. And that's one of the biggest, it's not a disadvantage, it's the biggest obstacles in running a business.
Okay. The next question is, how do you manage your time being a mom, a dentist, and a manager of your 2 clinics?
So usually now, managing the business, I split my days. So some days I'm in Rockwood, some days I'm in Oakville, and then I have 1 day randomly given to the other clinics that I work at. Being a mom, I allocate the time when the kids come back from school till their bedtime. This is their time. I don't run anything unless it's an emergency, then I'm not responding to it. So that's when it comes to the kids' time. After the kids go to bed, then I can run my other things, alternative things like month end, doing double checking, making sure everyone is happy, pays, all that is taken care of. So it's really managing micromanaging my time more than managing just everything, and just allocating. When I'm in this office, I'm only dealing with this office. When I am in this office, I will only deal with that office. When it comes to management, whether it's the team, if it's the patients, whatever it is. So it's allocation of time to each office.
I would love to say I'm really proud of you, Reem.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of all the Iraqis who has came over. We left our country because of the war or war consequences, and what the Iraqi have reached through vision, through plan, hard work, and lots of difficulties when you come to a whole new country. It's a new language, a new culture. It is too cold here, the weather is too hot back home. We are not used to snow, and still other things. Some people, like, they left their families, they are all the time here by themselves, managing their day-to-day things. I'm very proud. You already came from UAE, then you did your equivalency, and you were pregnant at school, and at the same time you own now 2 clinics. This is something I am really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Reem. What is the thing that Dr. Reem has to do every day to be more energized? What is the me time? What do you do at your me time?
So now you changed the question.
Yes.
From the Arabic to English, because what I have to do every day is different from my me time. What I have to do every day is blast music. If you want to turn my mood up, I listen to very, very loud music, and that's usually in the car when I'm alone, and have my coffee. So this is my me time. This is my gold standard.
So it is the same, actually. I would say it is one question. I didn't change it. So in order to be able for each one of us to like be energized, and it is, I call it, we own Tim Horton, every one of us. Our lives here, it is on the run. You have to do something.
On the run, exactly.
If we don't put some me time or something to do that make us happy, for me, exercise makes me happy. Listening to music makes me happy. At the same time, it is me time. Otherwise, you are running, doing something.
So
inside the house, outside the house, for somebody.
So there's me time in the morning to prepare me for the day, and then there's my me time at the end of the day to wound up my day, like I'm done with my day. So the morning one is completely different, is the complete opposite of the evening one. The morning one, it's very loud music with 2 cups of coffee, maybe 3.
Partying to work.
Partying to work, literally. My car just vibrates when I drive. And then when it's the end of the day, no, it's more of a chill in my robe with a book. I like to imagine that I would one day hold the book and put my feet up and just read, but it's usually winding down in front of the TV, just a quiet, either slow music, so slow music with nice scenery on TV, just to kind of calm down at the end of the day, or just have some friends over.
Nice. What are the ingredients of success in Reem's recipe?
Baby steps towards your goal. Never just take one big step. So what I usually do is, even when I have things to do, I break it down into smaller parts so that I feel I've accomplished something. The book that I mentioned that I was reading this time is called Atomic Habits, where it teaches you to do one small thing, but do it on a consistent basis, so that at the end of the year you've accomplished something, not that you have not done anything. So it's just taking baby steps towards success. Never look away from your goal, and always just stay focused on the goal, where you're going. So the goal is one big clinic. And I'm the boss lady.
That's the most important thing of owning a business. Okay, Dr. Reem, thank you so much. The time always flies with you. This is not the last time, I promise. I promise you guys. And she is coming back because we will talk about different topics. Thank you for sharing your success story, and keep it up.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you guys for watching us today, and I promise I'll bring more success stories. Stay tuned. This is Nora De Silva. Thank you.